Just a couple of comments about the report itself. I was a bit okay and a bit disappointed. You mentioned two aspects of your mandate earlier today, and I read your report earlier this morning. It was on the website. The first part of your mandate was, of course, to conduct sessions, hear from people, get some input and so forth. And I think you did a pretty good job on that. You allowed people to present sometimes in very tight and congested timelines. So thank you. The part of the mandate, though, the second piece we didn't really get to, and I'll just read it quickly. So the primary task of the panel, as outlined in the terms of reference, was to make recommendations on whether or not hydraulic fracturing should be undertaken in Western Newfoundland. We didn't get to the yes or no of this thing. What we got tonight was a pause. So to me, it was a little bit of fence sitting still that's going on with respect to this issue. For me and our members particularly, and people who live in these areas, I talk to them a lot. They call me, I spoke with them publicly. They say we're against this. Just to give you some information on a survey that was done at Qalipu, it only went to 714 people out of about, I think the number was around 13,476, 18 and older who could have done this thing, I thought. It gave us about 5.6 in terms of a sampling. I don't know if I call that significant, but it was a sampling. 84% of the people of the 714 that did the survey said they were dead against fracking. So that was a positive thing for us. The other thing I didn't see was in this document with respect to socio-economic impacts. I talked to a number of people in this area who were concerned about things like, what will our community look like? How much will my house be worth? Will my property value go down? Who will buy my house? And who will move into this area? What new families will come here if we're doing fracking here to the scale we've talked about in the model? So that was something that I thought should have been in the report that was missed entirely. So property value, people were concerned about that, and they expressed that concern to me both in emails and in people when I talked to them. So I thought that should have been in the report a little more. I'd just like to comment on the traffic. One of the big aspects, and Dr. Kazan mentioned pretty clearly, there are traffic issues in communities where these things happen. So 3,320 trucks, and we're talking tankers here now and tractor trailers. And I'm not talking pickup traffic here that could be associated with a company. At 480 wells is 1.593 million tractor trailers or tankers that have to go through your community over the life of a 6-year project that we refer to here with 480 sites. That is a hell of a lot of traffic. I recently drove around the Port Peninsula because I was going to a meeting in DeGrasse, so we actually went all the way around, and the roads are quite narrow and a lot of hills. And I didn't see many guardrails either, by the way, something that someone should be looking at. But anyway, it's a lot of traffic that will be coming to this area and a tremendous amount of disruption. And as you said earlier, this is a project that goes on day and night. And you mentioned possibly one tractor or one truck per minute in some areas, not in all areas. So those are real concerns that people have about this project. I'm interested also in the connection with respect to Grossmore. And we just touched it briefly, but I think in your report you did state, and maybe you could comment on that in a moment, that with respect to Grossmore, you couldn't see this going ahead very easily and a large buffer zone that would be having put in place. And maybe when I'm done, you could comment on what will be happening down there. So those are all important issues. But by and large, I appreciate the work that was done. I appreciate also the input that we got from all of our people in this region and Qalipu members to come forward and express their concern. And people are very concerned about this kind of thing. This is not an easy project to get done. Your report indicated that at $45 US a barrel, this is a no project. Economically senseless. The other thing you commented in your report was at $85 US, maybe we could look at doing this. I'm suggesting that we won't be doing this at all. And the other issue I read in your report was what happens to the natural gas. What will potentially happen to the natural gas that could come to this project? And as you said in your report, I got the suggestion or the idea that we don't have a real use for it. And people use that natural gas to generate electricity. And you said also in your presentation, we probably don't need that right now anywhere in the very near future. So those are some of the things that I want to express. Our members are still concerned. Our community members are also concerned. And when you said tonight there'd be a pause, I mean, you got a loud cheer here. There's a lot of excitement about that. I'd like to take this project beyond pause, though. That's why I expressed a concern earlier. I was looking for a no, but we got a pause. And now we're saying we need to do more work, more study, and more investigation if this was ever decided to go on, and we're not there yet. I don't think we'll ever get there, truthfully. And I don't know if there'd be a political will to take this one on right now in the province. And I'd be certainly, talking to Premier Dwight Ball about that if he wanted to move forward with the project. So there it is. So thank you for your time this evening. Thank you for being here. And finally, of course, thanks to everybody for showing up. This is positive, and I'm so glad so many came out.